Look, I have worked at the Galactic Council for 73 cycles now, and I have learned exactly one survival skill that matters. It is not diplomacy, it is not conflict resolution, it is not even knowing which species finds eye contact a declaration of war. No, the most important skill is this: knowing when to shut your mandibles and pretend you did not notice anything weird. My name is Krretch, and I am what you would call a career bureaucrat. I have 4 arms, which means I can file paperwork twice as fast as most species, and also means I can facepalm in stereo when the situation calls for it. And let me tell you, working at Harmony Prime Station requires a lot of stereo facepalming. The Galactic Council chamber is exactly what you would expect. Lots of sleek metal, lots of unnecessary holographic displays, lots of species sitting around a circular table pretending they like each other. We have the Zentari, who look like if someone gave a squid a business degree. We have the Corsham, who are basically sentient crystals with anger management issues. We have the Melvins, and yes, that is actually what they call themselves, who are small and fuzzy and have never met a conflict they could not bore to death with procedural questions. And then we have the humans. Here is the thing about humans. We do not talk about humans. Not their homeworld, not their history, not the fact that they casually do things that would hospitalize most other species. We especially do not mention that their planet was classified as a Death World Class 7, which for context is the kind of place where survey teams require hazard pay and therapy. We just smile, nod, and conduct our business like everything is completely normal, so naturally, that is when Pip showed up. Pip was my new intern, freshly hatched. Still had that new sentient smell, all wide-eyed and enthusiastic about interstellar cooperation. Pip was a Quilnor, which meant they looked like a bipedal otter with too many questions and not enough self-preservation instinct. "Ambassador Krretch," Pip said on their first day, practically vibrating with excitement. "I cannot believe I get to work here. The Galactic Council, the heart of civilization, the beacon of unity." I looked at Pip's innocent little face and felt very, very old. "Yes," I said, "it is all of those things. Now, let me give you the most important orientation briefing you will ever receive. See that human over there?" Ambassador Jack Murphy had just walked into the chamber. He was tall by human standards, with graying hair and a smile that somehow managed to be both friendly and deeply unsettling if you knew what you were looking at. He wore a simple suit, carried a briefcase, and waved at everyone like he was arriving at a neighborhood barbecue. Every single ambassador in the room suddenly found something fascinating to look at that was not Jack Murphy. "That is Ambassador Murphy," I continued. "He is very nice, he is very professional, and you will notice that nobody ever asks him about Earth, or human history, or what humans do for fun, or really anything beyond the immediate trade discussions. Do you understand?" Pip blinked. "Why not?" "Because we like living," I said flatly. "But he looks so friendly," Pip said. "So does a Krellian face melter right before it liquefies your internal organs," I replied. "Appearances can be deceiving." Murphy spotted us and started walking over. I felt my tertiary heart skip a beat. All 4 of my hands started sweating simultaneously. "Krretch, my friend," Murphy boomed, extending his hand. I shook it, trying not to think about the grip strength required to crush carbonized steel, which humans could do but usually chose not to because they had something called manners. "Who is this, new intern?" "This is Pip," I said, my voice only slightly strained. "First day." "Well, welcome to the council, Pip," Murphy said warmly. "If you need anything at all, just let me know. We are all friends here." He walked away to his seat, whistling something that was probably a human song, but sounded vaguely like a territorial warning call. Pip watched him go. "He seems really nice." "Yes," I said. "Yes, he does. Now come on. The quarterly trade meeting is about to start, and if we are lucky, it will be boring and nothing interesting will happen." Spoiler alert, I am never lucky. The meeting went fine. By fine, I mean nobody died, and we managed to negotiate a shipping route dispute without anyone threatening to glass anyone else's homeworld. This is what passes for success in intergalactic politics. During the recess, everyone filtered into the council lounge. This is where the real diplomacy happens. which is to say, this is where everyone drinks stimulants and complains about their respective governments. I was enjoying a nice cup of heated mineral solution when Pip approached me with that look. You know the one. The look that says they have been thinking, which is always dangerous in a new intern. Ambassador Krretch, Pip said, I have been observing the council dynamics. Wonderful, I said into my cup, and I have noticed something odd. Please do not. Everyone acts strange around Ambassador Murphy. The lounge went quiet. Not obviously quiet, not dramatically quiet, but that specific kind of quiet where everyone is suddenly very interested in their beverages while also listening to every single word being said. I do not know what you mean. I lied. Yes, you do, Pip insisted with the confidence of someone who has not yet learned that some truths are better left unspoken. Watch. Ambassador Trellis keeps his distance by exactly 3 meters. Ambassador Quilnor always positions herself near the exit when Murphy is in the room. And you, Ambassador Krretch, your secondary hands start trembling whenever he approaches. That is a medical condition, I said. You did not have it before he walked in. Damn observant interns. Ambassador Trellis, one of the Zentari representatives, suddenly developed a coughing fit. Ambassador Quilnor, a Corsham whose crystalline structure usually resonated with calm frequencies, started emitting a high-pitched whine that indicated severe stress. And Murphy, because the universe has a terrible sense of humor, chose that exact moment to walk over to the refreshment station right next to us. Hey everyone, he said cheerfully. Did you try the new Zentari blend? It is fantastic. Really opens up the sinuses. Well, for those of us who have sinuses. It is very good, Trellis managed to say. All 7 of his eye stalks pointed at the floor. Pip, bless their innocent little heart, turned directly to Murphy. Ambassador Murphy, why does everyone act weird around you? You could have heard a pin drop, assuming the pin was falling through vacuum in a soundproof room on the other side of the galaxy. Murphy blinked, then he smiled. Weird, do they? Very weird, Pip confirmed. Pip, I hissed. Perhaps we should discuss this later. No, it is fine, Murphy said, and I swear I aged 10 cycles in that moment. I have actually wondered about this myself. Is it because I am new? Earth only joined the Council 8 cycles ago. Is it a cultural thing? You know exactly what it is, Quilnor said quietly, her crystalline voice tinkling with barely suppressed anxiety. Murphy's smile widened. Do I? Oh, for the love of the great void, I muttered. Pip, do you want to know why everyone acts careful around humans? Yes, Pip said. Because humans are terrifying, Ambassador Trellis blurted out. There, someone said it. Humans are absolutely pants-wettingly terrifying, and we all just pretend they are not because we are professionals. Murphy looked genuinely surprised. Terrifying? Us? Yes, you, Quilnor said. You and your death world and your persistence hunting and your caffeine addiction and your casual attitude toward things that should kill you but somehow do not. We are not that bad, Murphy protested. Every single ambassador in the lounge gave him a look. Okay, Murphy conceded. Maybe we are a little intense, but terrifying seems harsh. Pip looked between all of us, confusion written all over their fuzzy little face. I do not understand. Ambassador Murphy seems perfectly nice. What is a death world? What is persistence hunting? What is caffeine? I sighed deeply. All 4 of my lungs deflated in unison. Sit down, Pip, I said. This is going to take a while. Murphy pulled up a chair, grinning like someone who was about to enjoy this way too much. Oh, this should be good. Krretch, please tell them everything. I hate you, I said. You are not the first person to say that, Murphy replied cheerfully. And so, with the entire council lounge watching like we were performing the galaxy's most uncomfortable stage play, I began to tell Pip the story of humanity's arrival. 8 cycles ago, I began, we received a standard first contact signal from a species that called themselves humans. This is not unusual. We get new applicants for council membership every few months. Most of them are perfectly normal civilizations from perfectly normal planets who go through the application process, pass the safety checks, and join without incident. Humans were not normal, Trellis added helpfully. Humans were the opposite of normal, I agreed. But we did not know that at first. The initial contact went fine. Their representative, Ambassador Murphy here, arrived with all the proper credentials. He was polite, professional. He brought gift baskets. "Chocolate," Murphy said fondly. Everyone loved the chocolate. "Yes, and we will come back to why that was concerning," I said. Anyway, Murphy gave us the standard briefing. Earth, they said, was a nice planet in a yellow star system, mostly water, variety of climates, supported a population of about 10 billion, all very standard. Pip nodded, taking mental notes. "So we did what we always do," I continued. "We sent a research team to Earth to conduct the official planetary assessment. This is routine. We check the environment, the resource distribution, the biological diversity, the cultural development. Usually takes a few weeks, and then we write up a report recommending membership approval." "The research team came back early," Quilnor said quietly. "They came back traumatized," I corrected. "I have never seen a group of xenobiologists look so shaken." Their lead researcher, a very calm Melvinian named Professor Dent, walked into my office, placed his datapad on my desk, and said, and I quote, "They should not exist." Murphy chuckled. "Professor Dent is a good guy. We still send each other holiday cards." The report was 200 pages long, I said.
I will summarize. Earth is classified as a Death World Class 7. For reference, Class 1 is uncomfortable. Class 3 requires environmental suits. Class 5 is where we send criminals we really do not like. Class 7 is where survey teams have to update their wills before landing. "It cannot be that bad," Pip said.
"Pip," I said gently, "Earth has weather that can tear buildings apart. It has tectonic plates that regularly destroy cities. It has a moon so large it creates tidal forces that reshape coastlines. Its atmosphere has oxygen at concentrations that would be toxic to most species. And that is before we get to the wildlife." "The wildlife?" Pip asked. Trellis shuddered, all 7 eye stalks closing simultaneously. "Earth has bears." "What are bears?" "Imagine a creature that weighs 300 kilograms, can run faster than most species' ground vehicles, can climb trees, can swim, has claws that can disembowel you with a single swipe, and is, according to humans, cute." Pip stared at Murphy. "You think those are cute?" "Have you seen a bear cub?" Murphy said defensively. "They are adorable. Earth also has hippos," Quilnor added, "which kill more humans per cycle than bears do, and yet humans continue to live near them, by choice." "And spiders," I said. "Millions of species of spiders, some of them venomous enough to kill a human in minutes." "Okay, spiders are not that bad," Murphy protested. "You have spiders that eat birds," Trellis said flatly. "Only the big ones," Murphy said, like that made it better. I continued, "But here is the thing, Pip. The planet being hostile is one thing. Plenty of species evolve on difficult worlds. What made humans concerning was not where they came from. It was what they became because of it." "I do not understand," Pip said. "Humans are endurance predators," I explained. "Do you know what that means? It means they hunt by literally just following their prey until it collapses from exhaustion. They can run for hours, days if properly motivated. They sweat to cool down, which is horrifying and efficient. Their prey would run away, hide, rest, and then look back to see the human still coming. Always coming, never stopping." "We called it jogging," Murphy said helpfully. "Some people do it for fun." "For fun," Quilnor repeated in disbelief. "And then," I said, "we learned about human history. Wars. So many wars. They have an entire convention about how to conduct wars ethically, which implies there are unethical ways they could conduct wars but choose not to." "The Geneva Convention is more of a guideline," Murphy said. "It is literally called a convention," I said. "Not a suggestion, a convention." "Anyway," Murphy said, "we are very peaceful now, mostly." "Mostly," I repeated. "That is not reassuring." Pip looked overwhelmed. "But if they are so dangerous, why let them join the council?" I glanced at Trellis and Quilnor. We had all been in the emergency session where that decision was made. "Because," I said slowly, "the alternative was worse." "After we got the initial report," I said, "the council held an emergency session. Humans had formally applied for membership. We had 3 options: accept them, reject them, or delay and request more information. We delayed. Trellis said. For about 2 weeks. Then the incident reports started coming in. Pip perked up. Incident reports? Humans, Murphy said with a grin, are very curious. We like exploring, meeting new people, trying new things. We did not wait for council approval to start, hanging out in the galaxy. I pulled up a holographic display. Incident Report 1. A human merchant vessel, the Wandering Dream, encountered a Krellian pirate raid on a Melvinian cargo ship. Standard protocol is to contact security and wait for support. The human ship decided that would take too long. What did they do? Pip asked. They rammed the pirate vessel, Quilnor said. They what? With their own ship, I confirmed. Just flew straight into it. Both ships survived, somehow, and the humans then boarded the pirate vessel and I am reading from the report here, politely asked them to surrender. The pirates surrendered, Murphy added. We can be very persuasive when we want to be. Incident Report 2, I continued. A human tourist group was visiting Station Kepler 9 when a chemical leak occurred in the industrial sector. 17 species were hospitalized. The humans complained about a headache and asked if anyone wanted them to help with repairs. The chemical was grade 4 industrial solvent, Trellis said. It melts most organic compounds on contact. It did smell pretty bad, Murphy admitted. Incident Report 3, I said, warming to the theme now. This one is my favorite. A group of human tourists went hiking on Preserve World Talis 6. This is a restricted planet where we keep extremely dangerous predators for conservation purposes. There are signs, very large signs. Signs that say, do not land here, you will die. Pip's eyes widened. They ignored the signs. They thought the signs were exaggerating, Murphy said sheepishly. 6 humans, I said, landed on a planet full of Talis ravagers, which are pack-hunting apex predators with electromagnetic sensing capabilities and acid saliva. Security expected to find bodies. Instead, they found the humans 3 days later, sitting around a campfire, roasting local vegetation, surrounded by Talis ravagers who were acting like domesticated pets. In our defense, Murphy said, they were very good boys. We called the Alpha One Fluffy. You domesticated apex predators in 3 days, Quilnor said. Accidentally, Murphy protested. We just shared our food with them. They were hungry. It would have been rude not to. Incident Report 4, Trellis said, taking over because I needed a moment to collect myself. The Galactic Culinary Exhibition on Station Harmony Prime. 3 human chefs entered. They asked why half the food tasted bland. When informed that many of the dishes contained compounds that were toxic to most species, but had been neutralized for safety, the humans asked if they could try the unneutralized versions. It was delicious, Murphy said. 2 of those dishes were industrial waste, Trellis said. Literal byproducts from manufacturing plants. Really brought out the flavor, Murphy insisted. I continued. At this point, the council was getting concerned. These were not isolated incidents. Everywhere humans went, they just casually did things that should not be possible. They made friends with species that other species avoided. They ate things that should kill them. They survived environments that required hazmat suits by just wearing what they called a light jacket. Oh, I have a good one, Quilnor said. The mining accident on asteroid base 47. A human worker named Rodriguez was buried under collapsed rock for 6 hours. No oxygen supply, no communication. When rescue teams dug him out, he was alive and asked if he had missed lunch. Rodriguez is tough, Murphy agreed. Takes after his grandmother. She survived a hurricane by hiding in a bathtub. What is a hurricane? Pip asked weakly. A storm with winds fast enough to throw vehicles through the air, I said. They happen regularly on Earth. Humans just kind of deal with them. We have building codes, Murphy said. It is fine. Your building codes exist because hurricanes are common enough that you need them, Trellis pointed out. The stories kept coming. Humans who went swimming with creatures that could swallow them whole. Humans who hiked up mountains for recreation. Humans who jumped out of perfectly functional aircraft with fabric parachutes for fun. Humans who deliberately made their food spicy enough to cause pain because they enjoyed the sensation. And then, I said, there was the incident with the diplomatic dinner. Murphy winced. In my defense, nobody told me that Zentari traditional cuisine was supposed to be consumed in small ceremonial portions over several hours. You ate an entire serving meant for 6 people, Trellis said, in 10 minutes. I was hungry, Murphy said. And it was good. 3 of the ingredients were classified as controlled substances, I said. One of them is used as an anesthetic in most species. I slept really well that night, Murphy admitted. Pip looked around at all of us. So humans are indestructible? No, I said. That is the terrifying part. They are not indestructible. They just refuse to accept that they should be dead. They have something they call determination, or stubbornness, sometimes both. Pip sat quietly for a moment, processing everything. I could see the gears turning in that fuzzy little head. Finally, they asked the obvious question. If humans are so dangerous, Pip said slowly, why did the council let them join? Why not just reject their application? I exchanged glances with Trellis and Quilnor. This was the part we did not usually talk about. We tried, I said simply. Murphy shifted uncomfortably in his seat. Yeah, that was awkward. Explain, Pip demanded. I sighed. After 2 weeks of incident reports and 3 emergency sessions, the council voted to reject humanity's membership application. We sent a very polite letter explaining that while we appreciated their interest, we did not feel Earth was ready to join the galactic community at this time. We suggested they reapply in a few decades after they had more experience with interstellar travel. Seems reasonable, Pip said. We thought so too, Trellis agreed. The problem was humanity's response. Murphy rubbed the back of his neck. We were disappointed, obviously, but we understood. So we sent back a very polite reply saying we respected the council's decision and would continue exploring and trading independently while we worked toward meeting membership requirements. That sounds fine, Pip said. It was not fine, Quilnor said, her crystalline voice sharp, because then humans just kept showing up, everywhere. We like traveling, Murphy said defensively. Within a cycle, I said, there were human trade ships on 17 major routes. Human explorers had made contact with 43 independent colonies. Human scientists were publishing papers in xenobiology, quantum mechanics, and warp field theory. Human entrepreneurs had opened restaurants on 12 different stations. We are industrious, Murphy said. You were uncontainable, I corrected. Every time we turned around, there was another human doing something helpful or friendly or bizarrely competent. They started showing up at disaster sites offering aid. They made friends with isolationist species that had rejected contact for centuries. They introduced new technologies they had invented in their spare time. Trellis waved several tentacles emphatically. A human named Jackson developed a new food preservation technique that extended shelf life by 300%. A human named Liu solved a mathematical problem that had stumped our best minds for generations. Just solved it. On a napkin, during lunch. Liu is very smart, Murphy said proudly. And then, I continued, humans started helping with problems we did not even tell them about. There was a disease outbreak on Melvinian Colony 3. Before we could organize a response, 2 human doctors had already arrived and were treating patients. They had heard about it through some merchant network and just decided to help. Doctors go where they are needed, Murphy said simply. The treatments worked. Quilnor added. The doctors refused payment. They said it was their duty. Pip looked confused. But that sounds wonderful. Why were you afraid? Because, I said carefully, we realized something terrifying. We could not stop humans. We could not control them. They were going to be part of the galaxy whether we approved or not. The only question was whether they would be part of the official galactic community or whether they would just do their own thing outside our structures. And if they did their own thing, Trellis said quietly, they would have no reason to follow our rules, no reason to respect our boundaries, no reason to coordinate with us at all. I nodded. So we held another emergency session, and someone, I forget who, asked a very important question. What if we said yes? What if we accepted their membership and brought them into the council? At least then we would have diplomatic channels, trade agreements, cultural exchange programs, a framework for cooperation. We could not contain them, Quilnor said, but we could maybe direct them. Murphy grinned. You decided that humans as friends was better than humans as wild cards. Essentially, I admitted. We called it proactive integration. Others called it damage control. Either way, 3 months after rejecting humanity's application, we sent another letter inviting them to join the council. And you said yes? Pip said to Murphy. We said yes, Murphy confirmed. We knew what we were doing, by the way. I stared at him. What? Come on, Krretch, Murphy said. You really think we did not know you were scared of us? We have entire departments dedicated to xenopsychology. We studied every species in the council before we applied. We knew exactly how you would react to finding out about Earth. You manipulated us, Trellis said. We showed you who we were, Murphy corrected, and we let you come to the right conclusion. We wanted to be part of the council, but we also wanted to be accepted, not just tolerated. So we demonstrated that humans are helpful, innovative, and friendly. We proved that having us inside the system was better than having us outside it. You weaponized being likable, I said slowly. Murphy's grin widened. We are very good at making friends. It is basically our superpower. Pip sat back, looking overwhelmed. So let me make sure I understand this. Humans are from a death world. They are nearly indestructible. They are persistence predators who never give up. They have conquered their own planet despite it trying to kill them constantly. And they joined the Galactic Council by being so helpful and friendly that refusing them became more dangerous than accepting them. That about sums it up, I said. So are we safe? Pip asked quietly. I mean, if humans are that powerful, what stops them from just taking over? Murphy's expression softened. He leaned forward, and for a moment the friendly facade dropped and something genuine showed through. Pip, he said gently, do you know what the most important thing we learned from our own history is? Power without cooperation leads to destruction. We spent thousands of years fighting ourselves. Wars over resources, territory, ideology, religion. We almost destroyed our own planet more than once. And you know what saved us? Pip shook their head. We learned to work together, Murphy said. We learned that diversity makes us stronger, that different perspectives solve problems better than any single viewpoint. When we reached the stars and found all of you, we did not see enemies or resources. We saw potential friends, potential partners, potential teachers. The galaxy has so much to offer, and we want to be part of it, not rulers of it. That was surprisingly profound, Trellis muttered. I have my moments, Murphy said. Look, yes, humans are tough. Yes, we come from a difficult world, but that just means we understand how valuable peace is. We know what cooperation can achieve, and honestly, we love this galactic community. Where else can we learn about crystalline music from the Corsham, or tentacle-based mathematics from the Zentari, or conflict avoidance bureaucracy from the Melvins? That last one was sarcastic, I noted. That last one was absolutely sarcastic, Murphy agreed. But the point stands. We are not here to conquer. We are here to participate, to help, to learn, to share. And yes, to occasionally terrify everyone by doing things that seem impossible, but are actually just mildly difficult by our standards. Pip looked at me. Ambassador Krretch, do you believe him? I thought about it. 8 cycles of working with humanity. 8 cycles of incident reports and cultural misunderstandings and humans casually doing the impossible. But also 8 cycles of humans showing up to help during crises. Humans volunteering for dangerous missions. Humans sharing technology freely. Humans making everyone laugh with their strange sense of humor. Yes, I said finally. I believe him. Humans are terrifying, Pip, but they are also kind and helpful and ridiculously stubborn about making friends with everyone they meet. It is a strange combination, but it works. So I should not be afraid? Pip asked. Oh, you should definitely be afraid, I said. Healthy respect for what humans are capable of is just good sense, but you should not be paranoid. Humans are our allies. Weird, indestructible, coffee-addicted allies who think bears are cute and jump out of aircraft for fun, but allies nonetheless. Murphy raised his cup of coffee. I will drink to that. Speaking of which, anyone want to try this? It is a new blend from Earth, really smooth. Every single ambassador in the lounge recoiled. Absolutely not, I said firmly. Human coffee is classified as a Class 2 stimulant. It is illegal for most species to consume without a medical waiver. More for me then, Murphy said cheerfully. Pip watched him drink the coffee, which was strong enough that I could smell it from 3 meters away, and shook their head in amazement. I have one more question. Shoot, Murphy said. Would it be possible to visit Earth someday? I mean, it sounds terrifying, but also fascinating. Murphy's face lit up. Absolutely. Actually, my daughter is getting married next month. Big ceremony, traditional Earth wedding. All of you are invited. It is in Colorado, beautiful mountains, great weather this time of year. The lounge went very quiet again. That is very kind, Trellis said carefully. But I have scheduling conflicts. Me too, Quilnor said quickly. Very busy, many responsibilities. I have to reorganize my filing system, I lied. For a month? Murphy asked. It is a very large filing system. Murphy sighed. You are all scared to visit Earth. Terrified, Trellis confirmed. Absolutely terrified. Your planet has hurricanes and bears and spiders and tectonic plates, Quilnor added. Why would we voluntarily go there? Because the cake is going to be amazing, Murphy said. And because it would mean a lot to us to have our friends there. I felt something twist in my chest. Guilt, maybe. Murphy really did consider us friends. Despite the fear, despite the awkwardness, despite everyone treating him like a friendly bomb that might go off at any moment. I will think about it, I said finally. Me too, Trellis added reluctantly. I will consider considering it, Quilnor said, which for a Corsham was practically a yes. Murphy grinned. That is all I ask. And Pip, you are welcome too. Fair warning though, Earth gravity is about 20% higher than galactic standard, and the oxygen concentration takes some getting used to, and my family is very enthusiastic about meeting aliens. My mother will absolutely try to feed you too much food. That sounds terrifying and wonderful, Pip said. That is Earth in a nutshell, I muttered. Later, after the council session ended and everyone had gone back to their respective embassies, Pip found me in my office. Ambassador Krretch, they said, thank you for explaining everything. I understand now why everyone acts careful around humans. But I have one final question. What is it? Are you going to go to the wedding? I looked at the invitation Murphy had left on my desk. Formal script, probably handwritten, with a little picture of Earth at the top. It was very human, personal, sincere. Probably not, I said. Earth sounds like a nightmare. But you want to, Pip said. I looked at my intern. When did you get so perceptive? I am an excellent observer, Pip said smugly. So why not go? Because I am old and set in my ways, and the idea of visiting a death world gives me anxiety, I said. But maybe I will send a nice gift, something appropriate. Definitely not coffee. Pip laughed. I think I'm going to like working here. Just remember the most important rule, I said. When humans do something impossible, act like it is completely normal, and never ever ask them if something is dangerous, because they will say no, and they will actually believe it, and you will end up doing something that should kill you, but somehow does not because humans have decided it is fine. Understood, Pip said. Should I bring a weapon to work? Against humans? No, nothing we have would work anyway. Just bring an open mind and a strong constitution, and maybe some antacids. You will need them. Pip saluted, which was adorable, and left. I looked at the invitation again. Earth, a death world Class 7, full of bears and hurricanes and humans who thought all of that was perfectly normal. Maybe I would go. Maybe. After all, I had heard the cake was supposed to be amazing. And if there was one thing I had learned about humans, it was that when they promised something would be worth it, they were usually right, even if it meant visiting the most terrifying planet in the galaxy. Even if it meant attending a wedding where the guests could probably survive things that would kill me. Even if it meant admitting that humans, despite being walking nightmares wrapped in friendly smiles, were actually pretty good friends to have. I filed the invitation carefully in my desk drawer. Not today, but maybe soon. After all, what was the worst that could happen? Actually, do not answer that. I had read the incident reports. I knew exactly what could happen, but somehow with humans, it usually worked out fine. Usually, probably, hopefully.